she said, "Wow, that's fucking big," and that's how I got my restraining order. Welcome everybody, some dumb shit. Anyway, okay.
And that's the first time I try math.
Exactly. Alright, okay. So I have a massive piss-off list of everything that was relatively announced, quote-unquote, in the Tenno Live 2020 live stream, including the art panel and the, like, pre-intro section as well. So, did you both watch all of it?
Nope.
I had it on. I wasn't actively watching it all though.
That's fine.
Yeah.
Alright, so the first thing that they played was like a look back on all of the Tennocons. I will play that now.
Have you guys heard that they've shut down the entire mesa? Nobody can come in anymore.
Oh, really?
We're here
They love
playing
games.
Warframe. What was that disc thing you threw? The glaive?
Get out. Little lad.
Tenno Live PAX East 2015. We are so excited. Comic-Con New York. It was amazing. We didn't know if anyone was going to come. Turns out it was completely full. My heart is still pounding seeing that many people show up, and I could cry right now.
Thank you for coming. This is our first ever Warframe panel. We weren't sure what to expect. When we started Warframe, you only had these 8 frames. And did you ever expect that 2 years down the road you'd have this many?
The whole place was packed. They laughed at all our dumb jokes. They cheered for everything that we showed. It was awesome.
All right, guys, here we go. We're about to enter Tennocon 2016 into the mayhem. Over 1,000 people are here, and we're going to show you what's going on here today.
It's taken a few hours to sink in that this is happening, but it's awesome. It's engaging with the players. It's easy. Like, they just want to come up and talk about the game, and it's fun to nerd out.
Welcome to Tenno Live, live to you from Tennocon, the first ever event of its kind. Tennocon, we had the idea to do this, and I could never have imagined it would have turned out the way it did with you guys here. You guys have no idea how much it means to us that you came here.
Take a look at this sweet target wall. This is based off of the Steel Meridian Syndicate relay room. Where did you come from to get here?
We came from Toronto.
I travel from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. I've come from Ohio.
Indiana.
I've traveled all the way from the United Kingdom.
Allison, will you marry me?
Hey, Meg. Thanks for coming. You guys have been leveling weapons for years. but you never got to make your own weapon from parts.
We debuted the biggest reveals we've ever had. We showed off landscapes, we gave you a tease of Umbra, and so much more. We will see you back on the usual couch very soon.
Oh, 100. 100.
Yeah.
The air and water flowing
You guys are crazy, you know, that's all I can say. It's like you took all the feedback that came in from it, incorporated it all, and added even more onto it as well.
I've been to 2 Tennocons.
My 3rd time coming.
This is my first time going to Tennocon.
3 times, and I keep coming because I love Warframe.
The reason I come is just the community and the devs and all the hard work they put into this game.
Basically meeting everyone and making new friends. Everybody's my friend here.
And remember, we all live together.
The air and water flowing
I don't know how this is free. It just gets bigger and better and bigger and better and bigger and better.
to keep the dark from coming. Feel the weight of what we owe. This, the song of sons and daughters, hide the heart of who we are.
Tennocon 2018, we did it. We showed you Warframe on the Nintendo Switch, we showed you Fortuna, we went into Venus landscapes, then into Railjack. We can't wait to deliver this to you guys, and we'll see you soon. Bye.
Tenno Live happened, a new look at the Empyrean happened. How did you feel about that?
Just entirely blown away. I'm sure I've heard that word many times this weekend.
I'm so blown away.
My mind has been blown.
Crazy! This is crazy, guys.
Yeah.
This is crazy.
Yeah.
We talked about maybe the game needs a new player experience.
It's everything I think any veteran or newcoming player would want to see. And you're literally changing the shape of games.
The whole thing about connectivity, it was done so well.
To think what we thought was an impossibility 4 years ago is the now.
I just wanted to stand up and clap every single time. I was so excited.
All that content that's coming, I didn't expect that at all.
It's a lot more than I expected.
It has to be the coolest thing ever.
Every single Tennocon, you guys seem to do something that no one expects but everyone wants.
They're making the game that you want and the way you want. The thing that makes it awesome is the community.
There's just like a visceral thing of losing your mind with everyone else around you. It speaks to my soul.
You flew all the way down from Saudi Arabia.
He's always on me, like telling me, we gotta go there, we gotta go there. This place, it's such a great event.
I recommend everyone to come here for real. I'm happy. I got every single signature from everyone from DE.
It's good to be a ninja. As a founder, I'm proud I took this gamble and supported you guys.
Since Tennocon, we've had more people playing Warframe than ever. I want to welcome new players and thank you vet players helping those new players learn the crazy game that we've made. For people that have supported us, have allowed us to continue making this game for you.
Good shout out to the community. Like Tennocon just it meant so much to the whole team.
We work with the best devs in the world. We love them all, and we have the best community in the world. You guys are the best there is, and we appreciate all your honesty, and we love to see you guys have fun with the work you do. So thank you for keeping around.
So that was a really good video. Yeah, it went back through, like, I think they started out going to like PAX first, and then they had their first Tennocon like, was it 3 years ago, 4 years ago now?
4.
Yeah, but that was a really good fucking video. Then they talked about some charities, which was really nice of them. I think one was Alzheimer's for an area near them. I can't remember the other one. Professional. But it was nice of them to see that, you know, they were actually like including other people, not just like having all of this attention for themselves. So then we went on to stream rewards. So they were talking about stream rewards. So Dumba and James, what did we get for watching Tennocon live?
Well, for just watching 30 minutes of the pre-show before Heart of Deimos, you would get the Aphrodite pistol, which is.
Have you had time to play with that? I have.
I'm using it at the moment. It's definitely an interesting pistol. I can't for the life of me figure out what the alt fire on it is.
Yeah, it's weird. It's like a tiny little flamethrower-y thing. It's a bit strange.
I saw a bubble and instantly thought, is this like some sort of like mag thing?
Yeah. I think it's okay. It's probably not something to swap out your secondary slot for.
Nah, I think it can be viable.
But it's okay. Yeah. We also got Hydroid Prime.
Yes.
For watching 30 minutes of Tenno live, the actual announcement stream for Heart of Deimos.
Yes.
And then, if you were playing the game whilst Tennocon was live, and you were in one of the dedicated relays, you would get a staff skin that will be on screen, and you would also get a random decoration, I guess.
I didn't even get the decoration.
Did you not? I got one.
I haven't.
And we will talk about those in a bit, because it's a little bit of the Heart of Deimos stuff. Next, did you guys see the statue that they announced?
Yeah.
What do you think, Dom?
Is it the Barrow one?
The Barrow?
Or...
No,
the Lotus one.
It's the Lotus one carrying the spoilers, the operator.
Oh yeah, no, I have seen it. Yeah, I've seen it.
Is that something that you're gonna get? Because I don't know.
I don't know. I'm not that big on collecting items.
Right.
Yeah, like
for my room.
I wouldn't.
I'd collect stuff if I like had a lot of shelf space and I wanted to fill it, but otherwise not really. Like it's not something that's necessary for me.
I think if it was.
But it does look nice.
Yeah, I think if it was just solely the Lotus, I think I might have been more interested. But that like pose and carrying the operator was, I think it was just kind of weird to me.
It seems pretty masculine to me.
I don't know. It's just not something that I'd want to show off. It's just a strange moment in the game. Like obviously that moment in the game is fucking cool, but. I don't know, it's strange to me.
Yeah,
I guess
it's not something you actively want to show.
Yeah, I guess that is a nice sentiment and a nice introduction to them starting these kind of things. Like, I kind of want an Excalibur one with some badass pose. I think they did one forever ago.
Probably.
Yeah.
But yeah, when it comes to like, when it comes to something like that, it's definitely a conversation piece for people who know what it's about. But otherwise. It's kind of just in the room and people are just going to be confused.
Yeah, anyone who doesn't know, they're going to be like, why the fuck is that chick carrying some child?
Yeah, even if they have played Warframe, like just for like, or just had a look at it for a touch game because free to play, and they'll probably know who Lotus is, but they won't understand that. So it's kind of a big spoiler just in its presence.
I don't know. I think
Space Mom.
Space Mom. So the next thing that they talked about was usually at Tennocon, I think everyone has a customizable badge. I think you send it off before you go and they print it out for you and you have like your frame and then your number. So instead of obviously doing that in person, they did it online where you could customize your own one, you could save it and you could share it out. I guess it's nice for people who wanted to keep them, you know, if they've been to every single one and they were keeping all their tags.
Yeah, they've just got a lanyard full of each one.
Yeah, I guess
it's pretty cool to see.
I guess that's nice for them. And that was all that you talked about in the intro. So the next thing that we went on to was the art stream. So every year they do this, and it's usually like a big dump of loads of stuff that they've been working on, and concept art and models and all sorts of interesting information on what's coming up, but solely focused on the art. So the first thing that we had was they were talking about Zaku. So, Domba, who is Zaku?
It's a they. They officially said the pronouns for this new upcoming Warframe is they.
Oh, it's gender neutral.
Yep.
Ooh, smart. Okay.
Yeah, so it's a Warframe that consists of 3 broken down Warframes. And I think we'll get to find out more about the 3 broken down Warframes in the Heart of Deimos update.
Yeah.
That's coming out on the 25th of August. But for now, it's just a cool ass looking frame until it ults. Then it's spooky scary.
Yeah, so we'll talk about that later when we get onto the Heart of Deimos and the Zaku kind of introductory video, I guess. So the first image that I posted to you was the original early concept. So what do we think about this? Because I think we've seen this a while ago. This, by the way, for people who don't know, is a community built Warframe, if you like. Yep. So there were many options and many themes that were posted to the community. The community managed to whittle it down to a few and pick Broken, because who doesn't love a broken game? And that was kind of the meme. So we picked Broken, and then that went off to like the community council, I guess. There's loads of content creators that have I don't really know how to call it or what to say about it. There's like a group of content creators that are all in like some sort of council that get to decide things every now and then. So they decided on it also, and they thought it was great. So they sent it off to Aeonheart. You might hear of this guy quite a lot, or girl, I don't know. So the art dev team started working with a lot of community artists. So this was the first early concept. So what do we think?
I think because it came from the community, it definitely has like a lot of standing as what it is. But as an actual Warframe itself, it's definitely gonna be up there in like the high tiers. Because once we get onto the abilities, we'll kind of go more in depth about that. But like design-wise, it looks great.
Yeah. Personally, I think I prefer this early one over the finished product, I guess. But I understand why they changed it, because this doesn't look like a broken Warframe to me. This looks like a void-infested Warframe with all of the like void tendrils.
I'd kind of have to disagree there, because like all the fragments of armor like coming. You can see the different art styles in between each set of armor, so it kind of just showcases fragments of different pieces.
Compared to the final product, though, this is much more unifying, whereas the final product that we'll show in a minute, you could distinctly see the 3 different parts, and each color almost of those parts is very unifying, but each type of part is different. Whereas this is very similar all around. I still really like this. Maybe this is maybe they bring this back as like a deluxe skin or something. I don't know, but I really like it. So then they asked Aeonheart to do some silhouettes. I don't know if people care about this, but I really do, because I love these silhouettes. I think they're badass. But yeah, you can see like the progression of looking at how they can really warp the silhouette to make them look even more funky and broken. So I really like this, especially with like the void tendrils being like almost like an octopus that is like holding all of those parts in.
It's like a lower roots.
Yeah, it's great. I love it. But here we have the final concept, which is the 3rd image I've posted. Yeah, and definitely much more unifying. The only issue I have with it is that the color scheme looks like Garuda. Which
to me it looks more like Revenant than Garuda, if anything.
Yeah, mainly because Revenant has like the Eidolon like flame stuff on him.
Yeah, I get that, but just in the color scheme, there's white, there's grey, and there's red, and that looks very similar to Garuda. I wish they'd gone with something else for this base color scheme, but I think it's fine. What do we think of like the final design then? Because I think this is badass.
Yeah, I really like
Yeah.
it. I like it from the moment I saw it. Both the concept and later when we show how it looks like in game. I loved both of those just so much.
Yeah.
It's one of the better looking frames to me.
I kind of wish when we come to it later, I kind of wish they changed the walk animation, but I understand why they haven't. If you have one leg that has a foot to it and one is just a stump, you're gonna have a different run animation. You're gonna have a different walk animation just because of the nature of the frame. But
Pirate Finn incoming.
I think when it comes to the walk animation of it, I think it's fine because it's just kind of shambly a bit, which makes sense because it's not even like a complete system. It's very weak on its own. It's almost like it's just wearing this armor, as opposed to it being a part of the frame itself. Like when you look at all the other Warframes, they are proper like fleshed out, and they're not just bones. They are the entire muscle and like skin on the outside. But this one, technically, the raw frame itself is just the skeleton on the inside. So it's literally just what it is.
So then they showed the alt helmet because if I do remember correctly, every new Warframe that comes out always has a new alt helmet.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I believe Protea had 2 though.
Really? Wow.
Yes.
So what do we think? I fucking love this. I think this is even cooler than the original.
I think it kind of goes towards more of like the gender neutral vibe. So if you wanted it to be kind of more towards the feminine side or to a male side, you just change to the helmet, the alt helmet, if you wanted it to be female.
On the other hand, though, they changed it for the actual final model to be a bit more like encompassing. There are less tubes that are on the outside. There's more of like a shell and more parts to cover it. I think they missed a trick here. I think it has ruined it a little bit. That vibe of having that kind of bun and that like centerpiece at the back is kind of gone. But I think it's okay.
When it comes to the actual alt helmet change, I think what they kind of did at the front was necessary due to Zaku's like idle animation, because sometimes it'll just take off its like face mask plate. So this one needed that to be able to take off.
True. Maybe it could have like that like hairpin at the back could have come off and all the tendrils could have floated around and stuff. That could have been cool.
Maybe, but that just seems like a lot of like effort into something that's kind of not vital to its design. It would have been nice to kind of do, but it just would have taken a lot of work to be able to do that. So much technicality involved.
Yeah, I was all about the alt helmet when I saw it in the concept, and I have to say I was pretty disappointed when I saw the final product. Like it doesn't look that good to me. I'd rather them completely scrap the idea and do something else rather than still try to do it and salvage it, because
half-ass it.
Yeah, because now it just looks very weird, and I'll probably stick with default.
So next up we have the signed Dana that will be playing with Zaku. Opinions.
I think it will only look presentable on Zaku. It's not going to be presentable on any of the frames.
I disagree. I dig it, and Oberon mains are gonna rejoice with this one. I think it looks fantastic, and I can't wait to try it out on more frames.
My personal opinion on signed Danas is that a signed Dana to me is a cape. Not a cape, but a back
some
piece
sort of back accessory
that has like a butt cape or a shawl or some sort of scarf or something of that essence, whereas this is just an extension of Zaku. This is just a thing that Zaku found that was just leftover parts from wherever Zaku crawled out of. It's to me, this is only going to look good on Zaku or Revenant because of the void tendrils.
Like, I think if certain like deluxe skins it might suit, I guess. But
and the same opinion of that, it looks even worse than in the fucking concept when it in the final model.
Yeah, I think that's mainly because in the concept art they kind of had to make the tendril bits a bit more defined. I think if you change up the color on the actual tendril stuff, it'll probably be more. It'll pop out a lot more. So it just seems like something that will probably look a lot better when it's fashion framed, but what doesn't.
So what was your opinion on that, Dom, with the Oberon?
Yeah, so I think it's gonna look great. I think right now you're just seeing the way it's currently colored. I think once you actually recolor stuff, because I'm pretty sure the void tendrils are the energy color that you'll be able to change. So maybe even if you put it to black, it's gonna go invisible. So it's gonna become way more viable. And I don't know. I just feel like it's gonna be really good on some frames. And also like, I wanna play the devil's advocate on your point about the cape stuff. And that's that we already have so many capes, so that I'm always happy to see something that's not a cape being added.
For sure. Yeah, I understand that sentiment.
Yeah, I'm kind of
personally.
And
my preferences are that I would prefer something like a cape over this. I see where this has its place.
Yeah, like for example, for me in comparison to Protea Sandana, I like this way more. I really didn't like Protea Sandana. It just like it's fine if stuff is not symmetrical, but it should then at least look kind of good. But her Sandana just kind of didn't look good to me.
Yeah.
Whereas this at least kind of looks good. You can actually do something with it.
There is a Sandana coming up later in the art panel that I do much more prefer. So we'll take a look at that in due time. So next they were talking about the signature weapon that Zaku's going to come with, and I don't know if any of you use the Gunson, but you're going to be super happy if you do that the Gunson is going to have a brother, because they are bringing back the War Fans.
But yeah, when it comes to the War Fan, it's kind of been necessary. Like, there's not that many War Fans in the game, and how long ago did they come out? Before they decided
I have no idea. Didn't the War Fan come out before the nunchucks?
Yes,
and
I believe.
Haven't there been more nunchucks?
There's like 2. Well, not including Prime. But yeah, 3 including Prime.
Yeah.
I can only think of Gunson and Cronin.
Cronin isn't a War Fan though. Cronins are like batons or.
Yeah, they're Tonfas.
Yeah, Tonfas.
Tonfas. Yeah, my bad. Never mind.
Yeah.
Never mind. I'm just Gunson.
So, yeah, there are a load of Tonfas, but I think the Gunson came out, I think, around the same time.
Was it Zephyr?
No, it was way after that. It was after Equinox, definitely.
But opinions.
Might have been before Nidus.
My main problem with Warfans is that the stance mod just sucks ass.
Yeah, they did joke at that. They did joke at that a little bit in the live stream of saying that maybe we can get a new stance mod, because this one sucks balls.
Yeah, no, definitely. Like I tried. I think it was Gunson Prime is out, right? I think I was leveling. I was leveling a Gunson. I don't know which one. And I just remember I tried to swing, and then there's just so many animations that keep playing that I barely swing at all. So I lose a lot of DPS just because my frame decides to dance. But if I take the stance mode out, then I lose a lot of slots for my mods. So it just it felt bad to use it. So I kind of just leveled it and then just threw it away, essentially.
Yeah, I did the same. Like, Gunson just doesn't have a whole lot of, like, usability. Like, it's cool. It's a cool, like, weapon type. It would be nice to have on certain frames, but it needs to be better. Because at the moment, like, if you want to just duel these, dual swords are better, or if you really need to, dual daggers.
For sure. Design-wise, opinions. I don't know what to think about it. I like the white segments and the bladed fan segments, but the red center is off-putting to me. It doesn't feel usable. It doesn't feel like it would flow very well. It would feel like you'd cut a tiny little bit and then you'd stop. There is a reason for this central part, which I'll talk about in a minute, but without knowing that, I don't know. It's off-putting to me.
It definitely. it would definitely be off-putting, but I think, like when it comes to the stance mods, like even just without the stance mod, it's gonna like kind of replicate the new one a bit. But I think it's kind of gonna do a bit of like half movements to like make use of like either side of the fans as opposed to doing full bladed swings like the Gunzone would. Because that way, again, like you said, it's probably just gonna like clash mid-use like on that middle bit. But
Yeah.
I'm okay with it because I see what they did in the left of the concept image where they've got one part, the other part, and the third part.
I think the top left concept image is a better approach. That looks more unifying and looks more consistent.
Yeah, but I think at the same time it kind of started to look more towards a kind of an Equinox kind of gimmick.
Maybe, yeah.
But I'm okay with the current one.
Yeah, so the plans with this is that it's going to have some sort of alt fire, or on its heavy attack, or some sort of move. It's going to have a ranged projectile with it. So what do we think about melee mods, or melee that's also going to have a projectile in it? I know we kind of have that with like glaives when you're using it with a secondary.
And gunblades.
Yeah, and gunblades, but by itself. I think it's cool.
I think it's cool. Like, based on how kind of widely received the gunblades were, well, especially for Beamer, not so much the Sarpo, but I think this kind of will definitely be able to earn its place very easily. I think it would be pretty good in the end.
I just want to say projectile bad. So, and what I mean by that is, wait, excuse me. What I mean by that is that usually projectiles break the game. So take like he said, Redeemer Prime was just the most busted melee in the game till they toned it down. And additionally, take the Zaz, for example. If you just put the arcane projectile, that thing was so busted that people were using it for the Scarlet Spear event to just essentially speedrun the event because it was so busted with the amount of damage you can do just by throwing a melee projectile at an enemy. And now they released the new gunblade, which I forgot its name. You guys. Stropha, there it is, Stropha.
Oh.
So on release, it was pretty bad as a gun. It was amazing as a melee, but now they fixed it up a bit, and now it's actually a very good gunblade as well. But it just kind of, you can cheese so much just because you have infinite ammo that can deal up to millions of damage, just because you built for melee stuff rather than guns, and it's a bad for the overall health of melees. So I'm gonna conclude again with projectile bad.
I actually didn't know the Stropha was a gunblade.
We shall have to see how they balance it and or sort the projectile so it isn't fucking broken, I guess. We have a final concept, which I don't know. It kind of looks a bit janky to me. It feels like some like third grader drew this. The shading on it's kind of weird. And then we have the final model as well of it in game. I think it looks better in game. I'm still not too pleased with it. It's okay. I'm not gonna use it probably.
I will, if it's good at least.
Yeah, I'm kind of bothered by the red part. Like, I think the design looks cool, but the red part just feels like you're cutting something and then suddenly just something smacks them instead of continuous cutting through them. What I would like to see is if the red part on top gets like a layer of like that void tentacle thing as like another, how do I call it, like a knife, I guess.
Like a blade on either side.
Yeah, like a void blade, right?
Yeah.
I think then that would just complete it and actually make it look sick. But right now, as it is, it's kind of meh.
Yeah. I think they could have done a better job, but I think we're getting new war fans, so I guess it's fine. Alright, so that's all of the art side of stuff to do with Zaku. I think it's a cool aesthetic. I think they needed to have changed it up a little bit. Just some bits here and there. but I guess that's just me being an artist, that not everything is perfect. So next we're moving on to upcoming Warframes. So I don't know if you guys saw this, but this is the next Warframe after Zaku, which is the Alchemist Warframe. Now, this fucking concept art is badass, and it's the same as the Zaku one, where the concept art is way fucking cooler than the final model. I love this design, like the big gloves, you know, like what's the scientist's name from Despicable Me, the old guy.
Dr. Nefario?
Yeah, Dr. Nefario. Yeah, him. He's got those massive gloves on. You know, he's got this Warframe has like the pipes going down the back, and it looked like he's probably taking a bit of damage here and there. And he has snakes on his arms. I mean, like, come on, that's cool as fuck, right?
I think when it comes to like this frame, I'm hoping to kind of see quite a lot of practicality out of it, and I can see how it looks very Grenier-esque, but it kind of deserves to be that, because with Proteus basically Corpus and Nine Sins
true.
Infested.
We have like Grax skins, right? But I don't think we have a very Grenier-looking frame, like the base.
Yeah.
The only one I can think of
at
is
least
like
one that's from like Grenier at least.
So then we also have the final concept, which just looks so good. I would have this framed.
It definitely seems very cool. Like, weirdly enough as well, it kind of like, I'm looking at its left arm. It kind of looks like it's a bit layered.
Yeah. So the wraps on it is that they have snakes for some reason. They have snakes on their arms, and then I know what you mean, that their arm seems like a little bit disjointed, and then they have like an extension with the rest of the arm on it. It'd be cool if we get like a change in skeleton. I know, or just rig in general, to compensate for like the change in like where the knee is and the joints and stuff are. But I really like this design. I think this is badass.
Like, while looking at it, I'm kind of thinking that maybe, like, kind of canonically a bit, I guess, that they're more like prosthetics kind of thing. So as opposed to them being like a part of the entire frame, they're just like little additions added on, but they're kind of not controlled by normal senses, like an exosuit would kind of. Instead, just kind of works through all the method. I don't know. I'm kind of delving a bit too deep into that.
Done with thoughts.
But can we just discuss the theme of the Warframe? Like, I am so down for an Alchemist Warframe.
Yes. I want potions. I
genuinely don't care how it looks like. Just give me an Alchemist Warframe, dude. That just sounds so sick. Like, I can't wait for this guy.
Maybe they'll do like a Magicka, where you have like 3 abilities, and depending on which order you press them, you get like a different ability that comes out, because you're like mixing stuff in your frame. That could be a cool idea.
I'm thinking more towards its kit will probably be like more obviously potion related, but I think one of its like key like team affecting ones is like the one you can kind of switch out for the different potions.
It just sounds like this frame has the perfect base to essentially be able to be modded any way you can, and I hope they somehow make it work. Like, just an alchemist sounds like he could deal damage, he could provide utility, he could, you know, heal, be a support. He could like apply some sort of coating to make himself tanky or whatever. Like, there's so much you can do, and I just hope they let us have so much freedom with this frame.
I think the tanky part is a bit of a leap, but we'll see what happens.
I'm not too sure on the butt cape. I like it. I think it looks fucking great, and it suits the kit and suits the the kit, quote unquote, the kit that we've just come up with, and just the overall aesthetic. But I think it's just going to get in the way of Sindana's. I think it's going to clip, and I think it's going to look shit.
I think that's the case with most aesthetic frames at the moment. Like, when I look at Hydroid Prime has got like a lot of dangly bit at the back. And even that itself just clips into the legs, so we're always going to have that problem. But I think with this one, it kind of looks like kind of a draped lab coat bit at the back, which makes it look much better.
Do they do anything in Warframe? And this is a fucking jump, but Do you know if they have any different physics for different materials? Because they could do something with this where it's very rigid, like leather, and it barely bends.
I think they do, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Because Hydroid stuff, like Hydro Prime stuff, it's very thick, very kind of drapey.
Yeah, there's some like Syndanas that just float wherever the fuck they want.
Yeah, that's like thin, like, I don't know, some kind of fabric.
Yeah.
Like silk.
So in the end, we have the final in-game model, and they fucking ruined it. I can't tell what's even going on here. It looks, I think the render's fucked anyway. It looks stretched and skewed. The gloves are too, like, accentuated. There's too much detail. I don't know. I don't like it. I don't like it in the slightest.
I'm not a big fan of it because it looks way too chunkier than it needs to be. But I think the glove bits are okay. And I do like the leg bits. It's very similar to, like, Nej's little leg parts as what on his deluxe skin. And the arm bits are kind of similar to... what fucking frame is it? Like... The pose...
Zephyr
no, like
that as well. That come off the arms.
Yeah, but I'm on about like the pose itself. It kind of reminds me of the Frost deluxe skin, how it kind of has like the wide arm like position. Like it doesn't really hold them out very wide, but they're there. Oh wait, no, Atlas deluxe has it.
Thoughts and opinions on the snake?
I don't know, honestly.
Yeah.
I kind of want to just wait and see if they're gonna first work on it a bit more and then what the ability is gonna be.
They said that they were trying to aim to have that snake be part of the kit.
Why? Like, I get the idea of, like, snake being venomous. It's the most kind of toxin carrying, or the most known toxic carrying creature, but who said we needed to incorporate that into what it is? Like, yeah, of course you can have like aesthetic on the frame because it'll make it look cooler. Makes sense. But we don't need particular beasts to be a part of a kit.
Yeah.
This isn't like some fucking D&D class.
Looking at the frame...
And if it is, they're kind of trying to multi-class into something way out of the book. It's like going from
looking at the frame again, I have noticed that he's carrying potions around his waist.
Yeah, like little...
Yeah, I didn't notice that before, and he's also got one in his hand. I don't like them like that. I would prefer them to be glass, because that makes more sense to me.
I wouldn't say glass, but I'd love to have them as the different colours represented by the different abilities, perhaps.
I don't know, these just kind of look like,
that'd be kind of hard.
Like water pouches. I don't know. It's not as impressive to me. He has a broken helmet as well. I think the helmet sucks. The helmet was way cooler before. Yeah, so the right-hand side of his helmet, or her helmet, we don't even know what gender this frame is.
I think it's
the right-hand side of the helmet is broken due to an experiment gone wrong, which is the most generic fucking alchemist thing you could ever imagine. But apparently they also did it because the fan on the helmet, that bit that's coming out at the front, was clipping with the aim camera. So you know when you like right click and you aim in. Apparently that was clipping, so they were like, it just made sense. And that felt a little jank to me, that they were just like, oh shit, this doesn't work. Let's just singe it off.
Yeah, that seems like a bit of a stupid thing to do. Like, because I've noticed when it comes to Atlas's deluxe skin, sometimes his arm will just disappear in its entirety because it's so bulky when you're aiming down. And I'm just there like, okay, that's fine. Obviously, it just disappears on my end because I'm the one aiming down the sights. But when it comes to, like, if you wanted to somehow change something up on the helmet to kind of make it look better, how about using the better looking one? Don't try and make it ornate. It looks great as it is.
I think
stick to what you have best.
They need to stick with the mantra of less is more. There's too much going on here, I think.
Yeah, they're just trying to add like more definition and shapes to it. Which
I do like the legs. I think they're alright.
I like the legs on the arms. like the whole head and the like size of the torso kind of the torso just looks too big.
So
Like, go for another slender frame.
Let's just hope that the kit is decent.
Yeah.
And is all encompassing of the Alchemist theme. So next we have the Wraith frame. All three of these frames, Zaku, the Alchemist, and the Wraith frame, have all been announced to be dropping this year. So we're going to get another 3 frames before the end of the year. So I think this is badass. I think.
Yeah, I'm a huge fan of Wraith.
Yeah, I think it's a little Nidus-esque, but not too Nidus that it's, you know, they both came to the fancy dress party wearing the same outfit. You know, they are different and distinct enough that I'm happy with it.
Yeah. Like, just having a look at like the proper full image of it, it looks very ornate, and it kind of reminds me a bit of Chroma as well, with like a whole pelt bit at the top. So I'm kind of wondering if that's going to be a part of the kit in some way. I also do like how it's kind of got like the weaving roots kind of bit when it comes to the limbs. So there's like
the limbs
holes
are like,
in it.
Yeah. I think this is probably one of my favorites to come out of the concepts like stage. I think the helmet's fucking awesome. I know there's an Excalibur helmet which is very similar. I think I have it equipped in a minute. Actually, it's super nice.
It reminds me of like a fucking kaiju from Pacific Rim,
Yes,
like the
it's
sword-headed
very
one.
kaiju-esque. And then they have a more of a updated secondary words concept. Apparently they had to change bits because of the rigging and the skeletons. Like the part at the back of the foot, apparently that had to change a little bit. I don't even know if that's coming, that little rail. But this looks fucking badass.
Yeah. I can't wait to see like what the kit on it's actually gonna be like, because just from looking at the frame and the title of it alone, I'm just curious. I have no clue what it could be, or what it could even do. With Alchemist and Zaku's already been shown off, but Alchemist you can kind of guess, but Wraith.
Yeah. Doma, any thoughts?
Just
I love how it gives me like sort of like an Orokin mix with Infested vibes. Just from the pose itself, and also I really love those shoulder pieces, whatever that is. That just makes him look like
he's muscular. He's like
it makes him look like he just sat down in his corner of the ring, you know, and he's ready for the next round, you know. Someone's about to hand him some water. Yeah. I'm just really curious what powers they're gonna give it to him. I hope they don't ruin it.
Now, Wraith suggests to me that they're gonna have some sort of etherealness to it. You know, he's white. His base color is white, so he's ghostly. Is what I'm gonna go with. That he can somehow use his terrain to like phase in and out. That's my guess anyway. And then I feel like he's gonna have some sort of speed ability, because he looks like he could run super fucking quick.
maybe. I don't want to kind of assume it's going to be another Ghost one, because Wisp has kind of been very recent, and we've also got a few other frames that kind of utilize some like ethereal thing.
Yeah.
Like Revenant, kind of Limbo, and even just like I guess Ash in some extent. But yeah, it's just too much kind of going towards a ghost theme. So I'm starting to think D's haunted.
D haunted. So next we have
But
the alt helmet.
Yeah, speaking of, I really do love the alt helmet that's coming with him.
I'm not sure. I like the angry eye section. Because you know on Mesa, the original Mesa helmet, that like wrap around her head, with like the striations across. I think that's cool. The like, I don't want to call it a turban, but this almost like
but it is
like this like head wrap.
It gives me very like, I don't know, like I want to say Arabic wobs. I'm
Yeah.
not sure if that's the correct correct one to use.
I think this could
Arabic,
work.
yeah.
I think this aesthetic could work, just not on Wraith.
Yeah.
Um,
I think if it was kind of more low profile, so like closer to the head, as opposed to just being huge.
Yeah.
Like with that claw bit, I think that would be a good addition. And just have like the little dangly rat bit coming down the side. That'd also be cool. But just how tall it is just doesn't work for it at all.
But
I think it looks cool, but I'm just worried about those side things on the top of the head. Those three, I don't know, claw-looking things. I'm worried how that's gonna end up looking in game. But I think the actual thing that's supposed to be like the cloth, I think that looks pretty sick.
But as we've talked about previously, you know, concepts that they come out with never fucking look anything like the final in-game model. Or if they do, they've changed it in some sense before it comes out. So I'm optimistic for this. I hope that they can fix it. But try and keep the same style, I guess. I don't know. I don't think this whole helmet's for me, but that's kind of the point, right? They make these alt helmets to try and let people choose, and you know, if they don't like them, but they like the alt helmet, they're like, all right, cool. You know, this suits my aesthetic more. So I'm happy with that as much as I can be, I guess. So that he also has a Sindana. Very simple. It's kind of boring to me. The two like tendrily sections are very similar to one that I have. I like the back brace carapace almost.
Yeah.
I think that's cool. I think they should have done more with that rather than the keeping that bit small and having the two tendrils. I think it's okay.
I think it's good. I think it works because it kind of suits the actual frame itself, which is what it's meant for. But I do think this kind of Sindana will also suit other frames as well. Because like just the two bits at the end, like if it's not actually presented like a tube, I think it will be pretty good. So if it's just like a weird like kind of like a void root kind of thing, I guess.
Did someone say tube?
The tube, man!
Yeah, don't want to keep pushing towards that because it'll kind of start feeling like a more of a Grenier kind of vibe, which we don't want for this frame. It just seems like it would not suit that aesthetic very well at all.
I think for me, the Sindana is gonna be make it or break it depending on how they scale it.
True. If it's
it's small, it's gonna be garbage.
Yeah, I think if they doubled the size, I think I'd be happy with it. It's just kind of meh.
I'm gonna have to wait and see.
I'm okay with like so many Sindanas not being particularly capes or just being very drapey. I'm okay with the ones that kind of do a small dangle because some frames kind of don't suit like a really long cape bit at the back. Like Nidus, I don't want to put a cape on it because it just doesn't suit him.
That's fair, but I also don't want something that's like 5 centimeters long hanging from his back, you know? Like, he has to look cool, not just have like one tiny little string hanging off.
Like, if he has like a couple of like tendrils coming off, I think that's fine, but I don't want it to be too overly abundant to kind of start to look more like some sort of long back adornment.
Yeah, no, that's fair, that's fair. Like I said, scaling is all.
Man, I hate dangling. Shouts up to anyone who knows.
It's all about that dangling.
Who knows where that's from. So they also showed off his signature weapon as well, which is this. I don't know if they've come up with something similar to this, but it's a wrist-mounted sniper. It's giving me some like Doom Tron vibes.
Dude, no, Predator, come on. That's the first thing I think of.
I don't know what you guys are on about. I'm seeing a fucking Hot Wheels track.
True.
Oh, no, I just meant the wrist-mounted part.
Yeah. Oh shit. I think this is sick.
It's bad because I instantly remember like some sort of Power Rangers weapon from the fucking Car 1, like RPM or some shit.
I love this, but from the concept, I don't think it's going to come out well in game. Just the way that it looks.
If it was like,
how do I put it? The perspective that we're looking at it and the way that it's drawn doesn't lend itself well to 3D, I think.
Yeah, no, it doesn't.
They said that the main cartridge, the purple brick, you're going to be, when you reload it, you're taking it off and you throw it, so another projectile. They didn't say what it was going to do. They didn't say if it was just going to be point of damage, if it was going to be an explosion, if it's going to be a trap. They didn't say anything about that. They just said that it was you were going to take it off and you were going to throw it.
To be honest, what I think would best suit it if it was kind of like if it was, I wouldn't know how to say it. If it was like thinner, there you go. If it was like just like a purple crystal thing, like you just shoot in and then like shoot like little beams out of it, and then just take out the shard and just throw it, and then maybe it explodes just a short bit, as opposed to it being this entire fucking purple crystal cartridge thing. Because that just seems like it's really fat for something that's kind of meant to be a smaller sniper. So it's kind of weirdly contradicting. It depends how it's done, but we've got to see some gameplay otherwise.
Yeah, this is probably going to come out towards the end of the year, so we've still got quite a while before this comes out.
Also, I want to mention that not just like it shouldn't just be a discussion around how it looks like. It should also be a discussion that it's the first ever sniper that's a secondary.
Yeah, I was going to bring that up. That I am because I'm a less invested player. I don't know the meta and the players' opinions on secondaries. How do you feel like this is going to fit in?
It really depends on how they're gonna balance it, because if they skew it towards the crit side, I think it could become the new Eidolon meta. Just because right now, so first we started with snipers, just normal snipers, and we started killing Eidolons while Chroma was still meta. Then they changed Chroma, they nerfed Chroma, so he couldn't self-damage, with the changes to self-damage being gone. So people resorted to melees like Redeemer Prime. Then they nerfed the range in Redeemer Prime, so people finally resorted to Zaz and their projectiles, right? So now you have people who use like snipers or some primary, you have people who use Zaz, and you have crazy solo speedrunner Ivaras, right? So if they added a sniper secondary and they freed up the melee and the primary spot, that could have huge changes for some frames, I'd say.
Oh yeah, I see where you're coming from.
Yeah. When it comes to like secondaries, a lot of people seem to be going more towards obviously single target damage for DPS. But some people are kind of going towards like dualies, like high rate of fire kind of weapons. But they're not in the S tier. Most of those dualies are just hitting A tier, but all of S tier is comprised of single fires, like just a lot of damage, or maybe just some slight little like AoE kind of a damage effect when it hits. But if it comes to a sniper rifle, I think it's definitely going to be up there, because it's going to probably be the highest like single target damage secondary that's available, because it's a sniper, depending how they balance it, of course.
So current meta is, at least for us at the end game, is Kuva Nukor, which is essentially a beam weapon. But the good thing about it is that you can stack so many status effects on top of it, and it comes with its own special status effect. That way that you just proc a crap ton of damage on any enemies. Like I use it to carry me through Steel Pad right now, and it's super effective, especially against Corpus, because I modded mine for magnetism. And it's just a disgustingly strong weapon. However, it does lack in single target damage, right? Because this beam usually bounces between enemies and does a crap ton of damage that way. So now if they added a sniper that would do a lot of single target damage, the secondaries would really just have a ton of options, which is really great to hear about.
So optimistic, but also cautious that they're not going to screw the meta up.
I'm optimistic of it, but like when it comes to most weapons that come out with Warframes, it's always going to be looked at with a lot of salt on the side, just to just to kind of like have that whole analytic point of view. Like, is it going to be good for this? Yes, cool, we're going to use it. If it's not useful in any of those situations that are mostly played or needed for, nobody's really going to touch it. People build it just to see how it feels for them. They'll be like, it's cool, but it's not useful. So, gone.
Yeah, I'd say there are like two categories. Is it useful and is it fun? And if it doesn't satisfy either of those, then it's probably not going to be used.
Cool. Interesting opinions and insights that I wouldn't get otherwise.